Hey everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. In today's video I'm going to be doing my own nails and I went for a blue Halloween design using some builder gels. So I hope you all enjoy watching. First up, I'm going to be using the Kiki London Easy Build Up Gel in Sweet Rose, and I opted to sculpt with this one rather than clear just because this was my first time sculpting with builder gel, and I thought it would be a little bit easier to do it with the pink rather than the clear, just because you're able to see where it's going that little bit better, if that makes sense. So I'm working on my thumb first of all, and it was a little tricky at first to get the angle and positioning right for filming. So the thumb is a little bit of a faff, but bear with me. To start off with, I'm just applying a thin layer of this to my natural nail, getting as close to the cuticle area as possible without getting any on the cuticles or the skin. If you do find you get any on the cuticle or skin area, just make sure to clean it off with some alcohol before curing. And then I have kept that layer that's on my natural nail wet because that is our slip layer, and I'm now coming in and building out the extension. So I'm just connecting that gel to the natural nail and then mapping out my shape. And I decided to go for a square shape here to begin with. So I'm just taking my brush up and down that gel and just creating that shape, working really slowly with the gel and gently. You don't want to move it about too quickly or vigorously because you will find that you'll put bubbles into the gel. So as you can see, I'm just taking my time, moving that gel up and down and creating that shape. I'm really trying my best to make sure that I take it down the sidewall and make sure it's parallel from my natural nail so that there's no gaps, because this is our sort of stress area where the extension meets the natural nail, and that's where you're going to need that bit of product there just to make sure that the free edge doesn't snap off from the natural nail. I then popped that into cure. Now just bear in mind, this is just a thin base layer. I've not built up any strength or structure here, so I'm being super careful when I take off my form. And the reason I haven't built up any strength or structure just yet is because I'm going to be coming in and doing a glitter fade, so I'll build up my apex etc. with my clear encapsulation layer. And then I'm just going to very gently come in and neaten up the shape with my file. Now I'm being super careful again because this is just a thin base, but I just wanted a neater base to work on. And I carried on here at this point with that square shape. But when it came to finish filing, I decided I would do these nails in a more coffin tapered square shape. And I kind of regretted that I did that because I personally think that shorter nails don't on me anyway suit that tapered coffin look. They just looks better on longer nails in my opinion. So I do wish I'd kept them as a square, but I know for next time. Anyway, I'm going to now come in with some glitter. So this is Glitter Planet Storm, and I knew I was doing a blue Halloween set because I knew what decals I wanted to use. So I just had a quick look through my kit and grabbed this glitter because I felt as though it tied in the best. And to apply, I'm just using some of the Kiki London base coat. So I pop that down on my palette and then I'm just dipping into that raw glitter and then applying it to the nail. So because we're doing a glitter fade, I want there to be full coverage at the tip and then the glitter to fade out roughly down the center of the nail. So I'm just taking my time to get all of that glitter onto the nail, making sure that all the pieces are lying nice and flat, just because then it will be easier when it comes to encapsulating. And although this is a multi-cut mix, it doesn't have too many finer pieces of glitter in there. So I am taking my time to try and move everything into position so that the smaller pieces are at the side walls and so that there's full coverage. To make it easier, you could put a finer glitter down underneath the chunkier glitter. That is what I do a lot of the time, but I do find it changes the effect slightly unless you had two matching glitters. And I just wanted this deeper blue colour today. So I'm just taking my time and working with the glitter until I'm happy with the coverage. And you'll see I dip into that base coat quite a lot, and that's because it's just a lot easier to pick up the glitter pieces if your brush has that base coat on it, and it's also a lot easier to move them around if you've got base coat on your brush because the glitter won't stick to your brush as much. And then once I am happy with how that glitter is all placed, I'll pop this in to cure for 60 seconds and that base coat will hold all of those glitter pieces into place, ready for you to come in and encapsulate. And then I'm going to come in and encapsulate with the Kiki London Easy Build Up Crystal Clear. And this clear gel is super, super clear. And like I said, I'm quite an amateur with builder gels, so I probably don't use the product to its best of its ability. But even I was impressed with how clear this gel is. So to start off with, I'm going to apply a thin slip layer again, because this helps our thicker layer of gel flow. And I'm just making sure to really scrub this layer in and around those glitter pieces, just to make sure that they are all going to get fully encapsulated with no air pockets or bubbles in there. And then I'm taking my larger bead of gel, placing that down at the apex area, because that's where I want the bulk of this product to be. And then I'm just moving that from side to side, working my way down the nail, making sure that all of that glitter is fully encapsulated in. Because you've got that wet slip layer underneath, it really helps move and guide the gel to where you want it to be. And then here I'm just really making sure that that glitter at the side walls is fully encapsulated. And I was just showing you guys close up here how crystal clear that gel is. But then I felt as though I didn't have enough product in my apex area. So I'm just coming in with another small ball of gel and just blending that in to that center and apex of the nail, just to build up the strength really. And then I'm going to hold the nail upside down just to help pull that product into the center. And then I popped that in to cure for 60 seconds. So I'm then going to come in with some alcohol and wipe off that tacky inhibition layer, and we can ready to file the nail into shape. Now I did my thumb all in one go, just because, well, for two reasons really. One, because I was just trying out the gel just to see what it'd be like before I did a full set on myself. And two, because I find it a lot easier to do the thumbs separately to the fingers, just because when it comes to curing, ideally you should cure your thumbs separately, just to make sure they are fully cured. Because sometimes when you pop your whole hand into the lamp, where your thumb is on the side, the light isn't penetrating all the way around that gel. So you will find that sometimes on your thumbs you can get under curing if you do it that way. So I was always taught, and I have always done it, just done my thumbs separately. But normally I do each step separately rather than doing the whole thumb separately. But just because I was having a play around and trying the gels out, I did my thumb first of all. And then off camera, I sculpted out my other 4 nails. I sculpted these exactly the same way as I did my thumb, so I didn't bother recording it. I just thought I would share the design with you guys. So I'm coming in on the middle finger and applying some water decals. These ones are from Charlie's Nail Art, and as always, I will leave a link in the description box below to where you can purchase any of the products that I use. I do have a discount code for Charlie's, which is also always in the description box below, so do check that out. They have some amazing water decals. It's probably a bit late to place a Halloween order, but I loved their Halloween collections. So I've soaked that decal in some room temperature water for around 10-20 seconds, and then I'm just really taking my time to get it into position, and then I allowed it to dry just so I could cut off the excess, just making sure to pull it taut so that you get all of those creases out, and make sure that you've got it lying nice and smooth. And then I'm going to come in and file off any of the excess water decal, and I'm also just going to ever so slightly file away literally less than a millimeter of the water decal from the free edge and the side walls. This is because we're going to be encapsulating with the builder gel, and you need to make sure that that builder gel can encapsulate all the way around the decal and connect to that layer of gel that's underneath. This will just help stop the decal peeling or chipping away. So I just like to just file an ever so tiny amount of it away before coming in and encapsulating. And then I've just applied my wet slip layer of builder gel, and then I'm encapsulating with my larger bead of gel. So exactly the same as I encapsulated the glitter. Just taking my time to make sure that the entire water decal is encapsulated. Otherwise, when it comes to filing, you will file into that image and it will ruin the nail. Just making sure to build up my apex area. I'm working quite slow with the gel, but I have sped the video up a little bit. And then again, once again, holding it upside down just to help pull that gel into the center. I then popped that into cure for 60 seconds, and we're going to move on to the ring finger. So the ring finger, I decided I was just going to do a full sweet rose nail. So I'm just building a full nail of this colour. So I've applied my slip layer and then I'm building up the nail. These nails aren't super long, so they don't need too much of an apex. I'm just popping a small apex in there for a bit of strength. And then as you can see, just moving that gel from side to side down towards the free edge. Now I did the ring finger and the pointer finger the same in this set, and I also did the little finger and the thumb the same in this set. So I didn't double show you guys any nails that were the same. I didn't record both of them, if that makes sense. So I'm just finishing off with the sweet rose, and then I'll pop that in to cure for 60 seconds. And I then went off camera and finished up the rest of the nails and filed them all into shape. And this was where I decided to change my mind and I went for the tapered square coffin look, and I just wish I'd kept them as a square, to be honest. But anyway, I'm then going to finish up the design on the pointer and the ring finger. So I'm going to be using some foils, and to apply my foils I always use the Goddess foil gel from Nirvana nail supplies. So I've applied a thin layer of that, cured it for 30 seconds, and then I'm lightly tapping on my foils. These particular ones are also from Charlie's Nail Art, and I wanted to go for that shattered abstract look. I absolutely love that look with foils, to be honest. So I'm being really careful to only lightly tap on these foils, otherwise you'll get quite a full coverage instead rather than that shattered look. So just be really gentle with those. And then once I'm finished with those foils, we're ready to come in and top coat. So I'm going to be top coating with the Kiki London Premium Collection top coat. I absolutely love this top coat, even though it's a wipe off one. So you do need to make sure you wipe off the tacky layer with some alcohol. It is such a lovely top coat to work with. So I'm just going to apply a thin layer of this to all of the nails and then pop them in to cure for 60 seconds. The two nails that have the foils, I did double top coat them. So I applied a second layer of top coat once the first had cured, but I did this off camera. And I just always like to double top coat anything that's on that surface of the nail like the foils are. I didn't need to do it to the water decals because we'd encapsulated them in the builder gel. But even if I use decals on the surface of the nail, I like to double top coat, just because I then find that whatever nail art item it is, it will last the duration of the set without any chipping or peeling. And you will see here that my 3-year-old, she just pops her little finger in there just to point out which nail was her favourite, bless her. She was really impressed with the foil nails. So as I said, this was my first time sculpting with builder gel, but I was quite pleased with how they turned out. I'm certainly not trying to teach you guys how to do it because I've probably made 1,000,001 mistakes and I probably still have a hell of a lot to learn, but I'm definitely preferring sculpting to using tips lately when I'm working with acrylic on myself. So I thought I would try the same with builder gel. It was a little harder than with acrylic, but I guess I've just got to carry on practicing and you'll only get better, I guess. Well, I hope so anyway. But this is what the finished result looked like. I'm then going to come in and apply my Kiki London Peach Cuticle Oil. This cuticle oil is absolutely amazing. It smells gorgeous too. I've been using it on my nails for the last 2 weeks and I'm really loving it. So I'm just going to really rub that into my cuticles to help nourish them from the treatment. And guys, that is the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you guys who do watch. And if you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up or leave me a comment below. If you're watching and you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love it if you hit that subscribe button. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, lots of love, bye bye.